Hey, welcome to Early Access Control Alpha, Beta, and Abandoned. What we're doing is we are looking at Interstellar Marines, an early access game that launched in 2013. Yeah, that's a long time ago. And guess what? It's not abandoned. I've been on a bit of a tangent making videos about abandoned games. But from time to time, I come across games like this that seem to have the persistence and pride in the development of the project to kind of continue on. And I just like to say kudos to people like this and developers like this that do continue to fight the good fight of early access development against seemingly what is a hostile community behind early access titles. Now, a lot of people won't really side with me when they say that's acceptable. No game should be in development for what be like 5, 6, 7 years. I kind of like I feel you. Sorry, I was just gonna play a little bit of the sequence when I bought it. Um, I get that, I get your skepticism when with the EA model when that kind of thing happens. But the thing is, who are we to put our expectations on how long a game should actually take to develop? I mean, the early access model isn't about meeting our needs. It's about meeting the developers' needs and us being involved in the journey to actually develop it. And it's kind of frustrating when you try to convince people in that have supported a game since the get-go, and they are obviously are upset that it's taken so long. But the thing is, when you initially bought into the game, whether it be on Kickstarter or Steam Early Access, I mean, they're not guaranteeing you anything to say that yes, the game's going to be done at this point in time. If they do, I mean, that's the developer's own problem. They should face the backlash, because normally your the amount of money that you spend on a game, it doesn't guarantee you anything except the communication from the developers. And that's really kind of key when you start honing your expectations as a consumer and somebody in the community that supports early access games. Now, I don't really fault people for being frustrated, because I've been frustrated too. But the thing is, we all got to work on our expectations, just as like the developers do. I mean, like they have to change their expectations on how they're delivering their project constantly. Especially in terms of Interstellar Marines, where the guys, from what I've read and researched, they started off pretty healthy group of people, and then a lot of it was volunteer work, and then obviously you can't volunteer all your time, because then that interrupts the rest of your life, and you've got to make adjustments to be able to continue, your normal job and your normal life while paying enough. Man hours to games like this to be developed and be still part of the team. So a lot of people end up walking away because they just can't do that. Now this game is in 2013, and it was pretty fun. Like, I played 20 minutes of it, and I got through the initial like kind of intro phase and played a little bit around on the maps. And I'm surprised that for a game that was released in 2013, that it was kind of like this. It just looks like it's one of those games that's more fun with more people playing, considering that it is kind of like a map based sort of, I guess, sci-fi shooter, we'll call it. And the game itself, from a bunch of maybe part-time devs, I'm not even sure, actually. I shouldn't say that too much about them. I don't know much about the studio, just from what the community's kind of told me. But I know that there was some volunteers involved, and it's really kind of cool that a group of people can come together and produce a game like this and still want to work on it this many years later. So ultimately, when it comes to this, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You can't be frustrated that the game is developing slow, especially in the day and age when I'm like producing videos all the time of games that are just simply abandoned. I mean, at least this game's not abandoned, and at least the developers are still communicating and telling you what's kind of up. And the fact that they do that, I mean, that's really all of our dollars are going to get us, and that's all the only thing we're really entitled to. So in your next EA purchase, you just gotta go into it with kind of knowing that your money is only going to get you so far when you start looking at the projects that you're gonna buy. And I simply mean, like, you can't expect content, and you can't expect your personal deadlines for the amount of content that you roll through and the amount that you go through, and the hours that you invest in an early access game to meet your demands, because that's not realistic. What's realistic is listening to the devs, assessing the size of the team, assessing where they're at and their development goals, and then kind of going, hey, okay, maybe I should back up on how much I really expect them to be pumping out in terms of content and stuff like that, and realize that they're probably struggling along. The key positive thing about stuff like this and Interstellar Marines, the oldest game in Steam, and the multiplayer and single player filters, is that they're still working on it. So I mean, ultimately that's the good thing, and hopefully I can convince some people that have invested in this time into this game and appreciate this game, to kind of either stay with it or just stop talking about it if you don't want it. If you don't want to play it, I mean, that's what it is, but at least it's still being developed, and at this point, good job, devs. So hopefully this video gives a little clarity to the oldest game on Steam early access, and yeah, hopefully you like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and there will be other videos that focus on the abandoned games and the other stages of development. So have a great day. Thanks.